Number 1036 in our teal hymnal is our preparatory hymn. It will be led by our choir, I think. And accompanied by Alex. And Joy and, oh, Christine, I'm sorry. Should I have it on my notes? Today's service is not a sermon per se, but Judy Armstrong and Valerie Lynch will begin with what they appreciate about UU, Unitarian Universalism, and then I believe they'll be asking people to join into the conversation.
So we didn't prepare anything written. No, you don't feel like you have to have done that either. This was our UU Revival Sunday, just kind of enjoying being who we are. And one of the things that I love about this place is things like this morning. We're free to celebrate however it moves us. And we're free to think. And we're free to feel. And we're free to come here regardless of our theology and who we are and where we've been, and be accepted every single time we're here. And I love it. And I love every single one of you. And I feel welcome. And when Bertie and I first moved here from Kansas, which is not where we're from, I kind of feel like we were doing time in Kansas when you had a job there. It's pretty flat and boring. We came here and we went to a church for 3 years, our first 3 years here, met one woman, and 3 weeks later she passed away. And nobody said hello to us, and nobody invited us to join anything, and nobody acted like they needed our help. And that didn't happen here. From my very first time when I met Lucy, it's just been so much fun. You reach out to everybody, and I felt a part of this place by my second Sunday here. Thank you so much.
When Judy and I were at General Assembly this year, we both, unbeknownst to each other, picked up the same book. And it's a book of readings, similar to the readings in the back of our hymnal. And one of them really speaks to me, especially today when we're celebrating Unitarian Universalism. Unitarian Universalists have said for centuries that there is room in our religion for all seekers. Skeptics, poets, and scientists are welcome here, as are nonconformists and shy and uncertain folks. We believe that restlessness and doubts are a sign of grace, that the love of truth is the holiest of gifts. And I know I've always been somewhat of a seeker or an explorer in religious traditions. When I interviewed with the Navy chaplains back in the early 90s for an assignment as a religious programs specialist, they were quite surprised when I said I didn't have a particular religion. I liked them all too much to pick just one. And here they were, mostly Baptists, all Christian, and they were a little surprised at that. Little did I know that later, many years later, I would find a religious tradition that really spoke to me, where accepted universalist ideas and that uncertainty and questions were not only accepted but encouraged. I'm still an adventurer, but it's great to have a religious community to be a part of. So now we welcome anyone else who would like to share some joy of UU.
My name is Lon Curtis. As I reflect back on my childhood, and I've been, since I was probably the age of 6, trying to understand God, spirituality, the meaning of life, and things of that nature. And through the years, I followed a course from basically being agnostic to I was raised Christian. I was baptized. Went through confirmation. I was Lutheran, and then I kind of evolved into. I had a problem with the shaming of, or what I perceived as the shaming of the church, and turned to the outdoors, where I could be as fat as I wanted to be, as ugly as I wanted to be, and be who and what I was, and not judged by the animals, not judged by basically what I felt God had created. And I basked in the glory of what He created, and not so much what man created. I don't believe that the Vatican can ever equal the Grand Canyon. I kind of fell into the Native American teachings because I have a very close kinship with nature, and I'm not Native American, so that kind of leaves me on my own. I've met others that are like that, and when I happened to be driving by the church and whatnot, I saw a labyrinth, and on the solstices I've been invited to walk the labyrinth, and I've had some great spiritual experiences, and I got the ability to do that when the Mayan calendar ended on the 21st of December, and it was a unbelievable experience. And so coming back to what I was saying, I drove past her and I thought, something inside me said, you should check this out. And when I came in here, I was absolutely blown away by seeing all of the religious symbols, because I had believed in the stickers that talked about coexistence and about all of those things. And I truly believe that when the United States was created, it was basically an experiment on bringing together all groups of people, of nationalities and stuff, and seeing if they could all coexist and become cohesive in one unit, in one country, under certain principles. And I believe that this church does the same thing. It allows each person to come in and experience community and share in fellowship, and yet be different and practice their spiritualities, or seek towards their spiritualities through the information that is provided here to find their way. And I believe that we are grossly ahead of our time. And for me to be here is an absolute blessing. I don't force what I believe on other people, and nor have I run into or encountered where other people force to believe what they believe on me. They can share what they believe, in a spiritual manner towards me, and I absolutely accept that. And I truly believe that I can go to any religious institute and have a spiritual experience within the sanctity if they allow me in of their church or their synagogue or whatever they hold holy, and still be who and what I am. And I can't tell you how much my heart glows that we have the ability to come together in unity and not fight, and the principles of humanity and reaching out towards others and creating friendships and pushing or putting out love towards all other people. Because there will come a point in time when I truly believe, and this is just of my opinion, when we as a world will have to come together. And I consider myself a universalist because I believe that there are things on the horizon which are going to bring us to a point where we as a planet are going to have to come together come together in unity and bond, so that we can fit in to what the future entails. And I believe that basically this is kind of like almost like a pilot program. I don't mean to undermine anything, but that's kind of the way that I believe. And I look forward to coming here every day. And the times that we have people come up and talk about their religion opens my eyes to things that I might not have known. I mean, I've researched a lot about different religions and all different kinds of things, and I respect every single one of them. We all may stop at different way stations, but as the Rastafarians believe, the Jah is the central of one God, and that the rays of the sun are basically all of the different religions, and that we may stop at different waypoints, but the thing is that we were all created by the same one God. And those are just my beliefs, but I believe that the church teaches tolerance and unity and fellowship, and that's what I absolutely admire about this church and others like it. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Kenna, and I was thinking about family, and a little saying went through my head: in-laws and outlaws, and this is the church that the outlaws are welcome. What I like about being Unitarian, I like to see the adventure ahead, that you can see where you're going when you've never been there. An openness to both joys and sorrows. I've been to churches that are all about the joy but don't know quite what to do with the sorrow, and I've been to churches that are all about the sorrow and repentance and guilt, and that was kind of a bummer. And a gentle kindness to connect with one another, especially here. A tolerance for the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the delightful. Where my students, when they don't know anything, they write on their papers IDK, which means I don't know, okay? And IDK is tolerated here. And I like that. In fact, it's not just tolerated, it's embraced and celebrated as our diversity. It's not just tolerated here to be diverse, to be different. It is embraced and celebrated, and that's a big distance. Our prayers are also our actions, and we endeavor to walk the talk. And the most extraordinary people I've ever met in my life are sitting right here.
I'm probably not going to be tall enough, so I'll be brief. I like that I came from a Catholic upbringing where I was wearing uniforms all the time to school. And Sarah the other day said, "Oh, you used to go to private school too?" Which it's a public charter, but she gets to wear the uniforms, and I get to fill out paperwork that says, they ask specifically, what holidays do you not celebrate? And I thought about it and I said, none. I'm a Unitarian Universalist. And that's what I wrote down. And Sarah goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, we've done Passover Seders, and we can still go to Grandma's Catholic Church. Not willingly all the time, but I thought that was pretty nifty that we could be that open, and a lot of other people don't get that. They think that there's only Catholic or there's only Judaism, and it's not always black and white. My license plate says faith is a journey, not a destination, and I'm still on that journey. So that's what I like about UU.
Okay, I want to, Lon, as you said, I'm going to take a couple of your words. Who I am. That's really good. I'm here pretty much the same way. Who I am. As Kenna pointed out a few weeks back, she's been around a lot of places. I've been around a lot of places too, and although you can be welcomed by many in a lot of different religions and so forth, I always had the feeling that I'm welcome, but I would be more welcome and I would be a better me. I would be a better me if I was like they wanted me to be. It's never really worked. There's something, and I will say this, I've only looked at the Bible a few times, a lot of good stuff in there, I'm willing to admit that. But right off in the very beginning pages, I think I have a relative that heard me write down, they'd roll over dead if they found out that I picked up a Bible and read a few pages of it. But right there in the early pages of, is it Genesis, I believe, first book? Old Moses out kicking around in the desert. He comes across this burning bush. He says, well, who are you? He says, I am who I am. That is my name and will be forever. My name is I am. And here, you can be who you am. I am who I am.
Once again, I'm Nick Reachmack. I have been for most of the morning. What I like about our Unitarian group, community, or society, whatever you want to call it, is the fact that part of our vocabulary includes the word justice. And then when we go out to seek justice, we don't do it to get feel-goods. We do it because we see a need. And there's always a need, and I spoke of one of those needs that I just discovered yesterday, earlier today. And it's something that I feel that when I talk to other Unitarians, they'll also see it very clearly instead of saying yes, but, or well, you know, on the other hand. We don't get answers like that. And I have a poem here from Langston Hughes that's in our hymn book. It's number 579. I'm sorry, not Langston Hughes, Frederick Douglass. It's called The Limits of Tyrants, and I think it's timely to read it. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are people who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its waters. This struggle may be a moral one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and never. And you have found out the exact amount of injustice which will be imposed upon them. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. So, thank you.
Thank you. I agree with a lot of those, what was shared, and some of the experiences have been very similar to mine. One of the things when people come up and speak, it reminds me of what the religion that I was raised in. Every morning they met in homes and kind of in a circle usually, depending on how many people, and everyone was expected pretty much to give your testimony if you were old enough, every Sunday. And that's one of the things that I feel, I mean, it does, even having people come up here kind of giving their testimony gives me a little uneasy feeling of where, but I'm thankful that that's not, it wasn't a democracy, it was every single thing was dictated, how you dressed, what you said pretty much, and how many times you read your Bible and prayed. And I'm thankful that Unitarianism is, I guess you'd say, a democracy that and everyone is accepted. That's partly what brought me to Unitarian Universalism. So now we'll extinguish the closing hymn first. We'd better sing number 1064 in the teal hymnal. So I'll extinguish the chalice, and then we can, if you'll join me in reading our mission statement printed in the order of service. We agree to provide a safe place to celebrate diversity, draw inspiration for our lives, foster social and environmental justice, and compassionately support each other in our spiritual service. And now we'll conclude with a responsive reading that's in the insert in your order of service. I'll read the boldface if you'll please respond in with the italics. For all of life and gifts we hold sacred,
We raise our voices.
for all our religions we will meet with compassion and grace. Relations we will meet with compassion and grace.
We raise our voices.
For justice and peace and the health of all the cycles of life.
We raise our voices.
For the celebration of all who themselves cannot or may not.
We raise our voices.
For the remembrance of those who taught, led, or inspired us.
We raise our voices.
For this moment in time that we are granted to share the wealth of each other's presence.
We raise our voices.
For the power of our collective voice and concerted action with vision and love.
We raise our voices.
And now please enjoy our postlude.